the momentum in the fight against graft and corruption in our country because of men and women alongside PG who stood up when it was not fashionable and called a spade a spade.
Thank you. Junior and then Jones.
Junior Commander again from News from Africa. Just a quick one. You speak about the role that Godani has played when it comes to state capture, when it comes to fraud. But there's this other role that he played as public enterprise minister. And I think it was yourself who said that if he does not turn these SOEs around, we will basically ask him to go. I just want you to speak about what you think his legacy is going to be as a minister of public enterprise.
Well, public enterprises has been is phased out now, and the role about individuals that they've played when they occupy ministerial positions and the impact they've actually made, that too is left to the legacy of what they did when they're there. And it did its part, and today we're on the right path in terms of dealing with that entity and being aligned to transport in relation to its logistics and freight, and revamping it to be aligned with the developmental objectives to enhance economic growth for our country. The statement I made at that particular moment was also followed by a statement of clarification in relation to what I meant by that. It was not to cast aspersion on him. It's like any other minister or a global statement you can make that if you don't move, we'll move you. And that was it. So it was in no way a reflection on him per se. It was a reflection on the state of what he has inherited, which Transnet was a mess. And we are on the recovery. You know that. Like many other people will say today, PRASA, about many, I mean, we are on the roll in terms of new trains, but you know what has happened. These entities were brought to ground. And the effect of that is what we are feeling today and reeling from. We are getting out of load shedding. We came out of it slowly, but we are not yet out of the woods. But at the end of the day, it looks like the work that our government has done in relation to load shedding had a foresight not of ad hoc but long-term intervention. The same as Transnet. There was a lot of criticism in relation to Transnet and all of that, logistics and freight and so on. But we know that this was an effect of years of state capture that ran down that important state entity. And Transnet is now on track in relation to cabinet refined policy in relation to logistics and freight, to make it a point that we are able finally to move from road to rail. And working with the private sector, we have adopted the rail policy, which enables government even to move faster together with the private sector in that regard. So we are quite not just optimistic, we know that good days are ahead of us. And all the signs in the 7th administration are for all of you to see that what is good for South Africa is coming. But it did not come simply because somebody had to bend over. Somebody somewhere had to be decisive. And PG will be counted in relation to the intervention and the struggle they led in terms of ensuring that we deal with the rot that was happening in the state entities.
Okay. Jones and
Jones again from NCOP. Just on separate matters of national interest, the President is expected to sign the bill tomorrow, but seemingly they're being pushed back from the Democratic Alliance, also part of the government of national unity. Just, do you expect more of a fight coming from them in relation to this matter? How will you resolve your differences? That's number one. Number two, President office also receiving a report on Justice Minister Tembisile Mlani on the Lauren issue. I know you did say that you will be subjected to integrity commission processes, but has there been a date set for that process as well by the ANC?
Can I explain again? Let me repeat myself. Anyone who's affected is not being pushed by the ANC. It's upon that individual to present themselves or whoever to the Integrity Commission. In this particular regard, we received the report from Comrade Tembi. I'll report about that to the officials, about what she said, what actually happened, and all of that on the part of the ANC. But remember, in terms of the ANC, we now have Integrity Commission, where she will go independent from us. Remember, independent from us as the leadership, present herself there. The Integrity Commission will make a determination, having evaluated the report that she would have given, where does it place her in relation to the integrity of the ANC. And they will then bring that report to the SG, and I will report to the National Executive Committee. It's a given, it's standard. So for what she's accused about in relation to VBS and the reports that have sprung to the fore, she will explain herself. She knows that procedure. I don't have to write a letter and remind her that she must go to the Integrity Commission to explain herself and the side of the story. We have established the Integrity Commission specifically for matters of this nature. That when you are affected, the Integrity Commission is not a disciplinary committee. It is a committee that looks at integrity. And most of the people missed the point. They think the Integrity Commission is the DC. No, they look at the integrity that if there's a matter raised in the public domain, to what extent in their own evaluation does that affect the integrity of the party liberation movement called the African National Congress? And they make recommendations. Their recommendations can be endorsed or they can be not supported by the National Executive Committee. But my job in relation to the Integrity Commission and on the report, explain again, give a report in public that this is how many reports that have been tabled, and then this is the view of the NEC on each of the reports. And by end of this month, we are going into that meeting of the National Executive Committee, which will consider Integrity Commission, but at the same time, organizational issues in relation to the state of the ANC. And that is the point. The Bella bill has been given to the president. The president sit down, apply his mind, and then if the president have come to a conclusion that there is no constitutional impediment or legal or so in relation that prohibit him from signing the bill, from the statements I have seen, the president is signing on Friday. So there's no need to make a call that the president must sign, because it will be good for me at Luthuli House to make a call the president must sign, but if the law says to the president, send the bill back to Parliament, the president has got to do so. But it looks like, based on the advice, like all the bills that have gone and have come before the president, he has signed them, because he is confident as the president that he has ticked all the boxes and he doesn't need to be commanded by us to sign the bill. Even what if the law says take it back? He can't. So I've seen we are an activist country and a vibrant democracy. I've seen civil society rising that this bill must be signed. The president's office have said, Friday, we are signing. After they sign, I will be here on behalf of the ANC to talk about how important is that bill for South Africa's transformation. I'm not a spokesperson of the DA. They can do whatever they want to do. If they want to walk, they can walk. If they want to do whatever they want to do that they deem it fit in their own perspective, it works for them, they can do that. But it doesn't mean that we cannot talk as members of the GNU and political parties who are in the GNU.